Okay, Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning, sir.
Okay, welcome back to our business conversation class. I know that you have spent like almost 2 hours, perhaps, okay, or 1.5 hour with your grammar class. Okay, so this time you're gonna spend some more time. It's not gonna be long, maybe just 1 hour, perhaps, okay, on our today's topic on doing presentation. Today's topic is on how to make like a good introduction to your presentation, because just like any writing essays, the presentation must have general structures similar to the essay writing. Okay, you must have the introductions, you have the content or the body of your writing, and also the last is your conclusion, right? Of course, the main ideas are going to be in your content, okay, in the second part, in the second part of your presentation, just like in essay writing. So today we're gonna cover some important points, some important things related to how to start your presentation. But before that, I think we need to kind of discuss on some things related to what we mean by presentation, because be it in a business context or in academic context, like, I think all of you are quite familiar with doing a presentation, right, class? Yeah, I mean, I think most of your assignments maybe require you to do presentations. The difference is, of course, because we had been in the pandemic, so maybe most of your presentations are online, okay, so like online presentation. Okay, so actually, regardless of doing presentation for business settings or for academic settings, okay, there are some general points that all of you need to really understand when it comes to doing presentation, right? One of the supporting tools that almost all of us use in doing presentations is using the PowerPoint slides. Is that right, class?
Yes, that's right, sir.
I think that the most popular and also convenient to all of us to use is, of course, using the PowerPoint slides. Now, using the PowerPoint slides, using the videos, showing the videos, and like using all the the graphics, scales perhaps, or anything else. All these you call it the supporting tools, okay? Or maybe you might want to call also like visual aids. It's an aid, something that can help you through the pictures and videos and sounds and everything to make your points become clearer to the audience or those who are watching your presentation. But do you sometimes see, or maybe you yourself perhaps realize that in some of us, maybe and you might want to notice somebody else doing presentation, when they have all the slides show on the screen, and they must have like all the points on the slide, right? And do you sometimes notice that presenters, are actually facing to the facing to the slides and read every single words on the slides, because everything are there. So basically they are just reading out the text on the slides, and even sometimes they forget that there are some people in front of them, that they are having the audience. What do you think of this way of doing presentations? Reading out all the writings on the slides, and to some extent, sometimes they forget that they have the audience. What do you think of this? Is that a good way of doing a presentation?
No.
No, sir.
No? Anyone else? Lintang, you gonna say something? So it's not a good way, right? Do all of you agree on this, or do you have anything to say? Anything else to say? Like it's maybe oh, why do you think people who is gonna present, they put every words, every single things on the slides? Why do you think? What make them do that?
So the audience can read it.
Okay, so the audience can read it. Okay, yes, that's possible, and that is why they put every single words that they're going to say. So it is not only the main point, but like every detail, every sentences, they put it there. So basically the presenter is just reading, reading out all the text, or all the words written on the slide. Okay, so why do you think that they have to do that? Is it because they want to make sure that they don't forget, maybe? They don't forget what to say? Yes, class?
Maybe, sir, but I think when you give a presentation about something, you should really know and master the topic you have.
Exactly. Well, of course, it is not only for doing a presentation. Almost when you are uh, sh sharing your ideas, sharing your opinions, sharing your experiences, of course you need to really do what you should really know what you're saying. In other words, you need to master the topics. I think there's no question on that. Yes. uh, 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 this is the point, actually, class. I really want you to really understand this from now on, and try to realize that on your own. I really want you to understand that, while you are presenting, when you are making doing a presentation, so basically you are speaking. Did you get my point? You are speaking your ideas. You are sharing your ideas. You are talking to the audience. Is that right, class? Yeah, actually you are doing yeah, like a public speaking, but because so the PowerPoint slides is just for you to help to make maybe to make to make us as the presenters more comfortable, and also to make things to make your ideas become easier to understand, to the audience, because you got like a main points, and also to make yourself to make us as presenters keep up the whole content, so not to avoid talking on something that we are not supposed to talk or to speak, to keep focused on our topics and main points. So that's the uses or the functions of the slide. And yes, and also to make the audience more attracted or more interested in your presentation. Like maybe you put some audio, videos, to make like visual effects or sound effects. You know what I mean? Because that can help the situations, can help. For example, you are telling the sad stories. You're telling like the touching kinds of experiences to their feelings. So you want to play like a very nice songs or audios, or maybe you put some videos and pictures just to help you sharing your ideas to let the audience understand better. So basically all those PowerPoint slides and the visual aids, audios and videos and pictures are for you to help. So it is not your main point. That the main point is you are speaking, right? So again, from now on, I really want all of you here to pay attention to this very basic and fundamental concept or idea or understanding, that when you are doing a presentation, basically you are speaking in front of the public, in front of your audience. You are not, again, not reading. So everything you do, basically you can always apply all the let's say the theories or the tricks or the tips or some ways, some guides how to deliver a good speech, right? Like for example, like using the gestures and also your facial expressions, and also your voice should be clear. So everything is basically you are speaking in front of the audience. So you don't really focus everything on your slide, because the one that are presenting is not the slide. You know what I mean? It is not the slide. It is not the PowerPoint slides who are doing the talking. It is you. It is we as presenters who are doing the talking. You know what I mean? Because if we keep on reading out all the scripts, all the text available or written on the slide, so basically it is reading. It is not presenting. It is reading. And also it's not going to be uh, attractive, and it's not going to be uh, the, delivering your goals or your targets, what you're going to share to the audience, because you need to have like a contact between we as a presenters and also the audience. So later on you might want to learn more on some practical ways on how to maintain your connection with the audience, and at the same time you may want to read some lines, some words on the slide, okay, and everything. Okay, so here what's the point that I'm gonna I want you to really pay attention is that when you are doing a presentation, please make sure that you realize that you are doing speaking. You are doing a kind of you are speaking to the audience. You are not reading. Okay, so you need to kind of realize this and try to put yourself to suit that kind of situation. So not to get to and finally you are just reading everything what's on the slide. Okay, right, class. Well, uh, what do you think some important things in doing presentations? what are some things that you need to pay attention? What are the things that we need to kind of highlight or consider, before making presentations? What are the important things you think?
Know your topic and audience.
Exactly. Very good. Of course. Of course, you need to know your topic. Very good. And yes, you have to know your audience, because it is very important. You need to make sure who your audience are. Are they your classmates? Are they your juniors? Are they the high school students? Are they your seniors? That will really influence the way you're going to deliver your presentations. The language that you're going to use, and also there are so many things that are related to these 2 points. Know your content and know your audience. Okay, so basically you might want to consider some important things, like yes, like your content, right? Your topic, your content, and also how you're gonna deliver your presentations, what supporting tools or visual aids that you're gonna use. Is that only PowerPoints, or do you need something else, okay, to help you during the presentations, okay? And another thing is, of course, you yourself, we ourselves as the presenters, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your maybe your, what about your attire, your dressing, maybe? Is it also things that you need to consider? Your
Yes.
your appearance, your appearance.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and also you need to make your attire, your your dress, okay, the way you look, your appearance, to the situations and also the audience. Okay, if you're talking to like kindergarten kids, say for example you are doing like teaching practices, or whatever. Okay, so you are with the kindergartens. Okay, so the way you talk, and also maybe your attire should be really interesting to them. Or maybe you wanna show to them that you are like their big sisters or big brothers, just to be close to all of them. And the way you talk is also different, right? So all these also situations you need to really take care when you are doing a presentation. But for sure preparing the preparations is a number one point that you need to really take care, really put your attention, to prepare. Preparing is a must. It is there is no compromise on this. You need to prepare. Okay, right, class. So well, let's. Do you see Taka around? He's not here yet. Class, do you see him?
No, sir.
Not yet.
No, not yet, sir.
He's not in. Okay, so you are 26 now. All right, class. So let me show you our today's slides. Okay, so let me check the audio over here. Okay, so do you see the slides on the screen?
Not yet. No. Yes, we can see now.
Oh, okay. So it's Unit 6, planning and getting started with presentations. So these are the two topics: understanding presentation techniques and the audience, and how to introduce a presentation. So basically today we are just up to the introduction part of the presentations. Okay, right. Well, so you've got the. Okay, so if you see the pictures of here, so you might want to get some 7 interesting. You need to really pay attention to your visual aids. You know, is it a PowerPoint? So it is just like a paper over here. Okay, and make sure you have a simple and clear structure and show enthusiasm. This is the most challenging part to all of us, of course. How to show our that we are enthusiastic, we are happy, we are glad, okay, to show to share our ideas. Okay, you may use the PowerPoint, making the informal if it is formal, so you need to make it formal. If it's informal, then you need to make the informal presentations. Consider the audience and dealing with the nerves, you know, how to get away with these fear, you know, being nervous before doing the presentations and all that. Okay, go to the next slide over here, class. Oh yes, I have the other one here. Okay, as far as the audience is concerned, so let me try to do the slideshow. Is it working, class? Do you see the slideshow now?
No.
It is still small?
Yes.
I don't know what's happening with my it just cannot do the slideshow. Anyway, so look at the pictures over here. Can you is it a good presentation, you think?
No, sir.
Okay, it seems that it is not, because see, like the pictures over here, people are not really focusing on the presenter. You know, they're not really looking at the talking to each other. They're not really happy with the presentations. Okay, there is question marks over here. Some of the audience are like asking, what is he talking about? Okay, right. So look at the some expressions, you know, from the audience here, which can show us that they've got some problems with the presenter and also the whole presentations, right? Can you see number 1A here? 1A. Can any one of you read what's on the 1A? Can you read out?
What on earth is he talking about? I have no idea.
Okay, who's this?
Hannah, sir.
Oh, Hannah. Okay. Yes, Hannah. What on earth is he talking about? I have no idea. So, what do you think the problem that he has, that the speaker has about the presentation? So he said, "What on earth is he talking about? I have no idea." Why do you think he says that?
Either the speaker put an off topic or doesn't explain it right, or he just speak in a low voice.
Oh yes, I think that could be the cause of the problem. Yeah, maybe because, you know, the presenter is the way he talk is not really clear, maybe, right? Or maybe the let's say that the voice is not really clear, or maybe what the language that he's using, it's like I mean, the audience are not really familiar with some words, with so many words, maybe so many terms that they don't understand, or maybe, you know, it's just confusing explanations, maybe. Yes, okay, right. How about number 1B? Can you read for me, Felix, 1B?
Sure. Hey, Sarah, wake up. He's finished.
What's going on there? What's the problem with that he has?
He didn't wake up. He's still sleeping. No.
So Sarah is like also in the audience there. So this is like the audience expressions, you know, looking at the presenters and, hey, Sarah, wake up, he's finished. So meaning Sarah has been sleeping, right? throughout the
Yes.
presentations. So what's going on? What's the problem, you think?
She's fallen asleep and he already finished the presentation.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? How about Lintang? Do you see any problem with 1B? Why the audience says, "Hey, Sarah, wake up! The presenter is finished. He is done. We are done. Oh, the presentation is done."
Maybe of the audience waking up her friends
Mhm.
when the presentation is end. In the end of the presentation, maybe it's the presentation is too boring.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it must be very boring because how could you sleep during a presentation, right? You can imagine that. Okay, it's just too much, you know. If you are watching a presentations and it makes you like sleepy, you can imagine, you know, how boring the presentation is. Okay, right? Yes. Okay, not interesting presentations. How about C? How about C, Abdul Qadir?
Read that. I can't read that. I I would need a pair of binoculars.
A binocular is like how to make things become bigger, you know, like a glasses to make things bigger because it is too small, maybe, right?
Yes, yes.
What's the problem, you think? You can see from the picture that the writing is not very clear, right?
Yeah, this too
And that is why
small.
too small. It is not good. Okay, and if you are doing a presentation, so make sure you don't put every single words on your slides, and it will make your your uh, your your text font becomes like very small, and it's difficult for the audience to read. And to avoid like one of the audience would shout at you, "Read that! I can't read that. I need I need a glasses to read that." Okay. Okay. How about the D? What's the problem there with D? Anissa, are you there? Avenia? Yes, are you there? Okay, Kamala,
Yes, sir.
how about the D? Can you read that?
Speak up. I can hear a thing.
So what's the problem with the presenter?
Ada apa sih? Ada voice is too gak kedengeran gitu mungkin ya, sir.
What is it nggak kedengeran?
What? Apa ya?
Too low?
Yeah.
I mean, the voice is not clear. Okay, so
Yeah,
when you are presenting, exactly when you're
Yeah.
presenting, make sure that your voice are clear enough to listen to, right? And that is why very often when I'm on Zoom, you know, when I'm on Zoom, I always try to make sure that all of you can hear my voice. So this is one of the ways to make sure that everything is clear. Okay. And the last one is summarize 4 main points. I only noticed one. Have I been asleep? Maybe because you know the points are not really clear, and maybe the presenters is talking too fast, maybe, or maybe his explanation is not really clear. It got mixed up here and there. So you need to make sure that your points are simple, clear, and easy to understand for your audience. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to pay attention while you are doing a presentations. Okay, class. Okay, so let's go to this slide. Okay, so you're going to listen to the audio after this. You know, some of the management trainees, okay, those who are doing let's say a workshop or a training or kind of motivation on management. You know, they're talking about what to do during the preparations of the presentations. So before doing a presentation, what are the things that you need to pay attention? What are the yeah what should you do before doing a presentation. So there are 8 points over here. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are 8 points over here. So you're going to listen to the audio and try to take note the 8 things or the 8 elements or the 8 points that you need to pay attention before doing a presentations. Okay, class, are you ready?
Ready,
Yes.
sir?
Okay, please make sure you are listening to me. Okay, so let me share another screen over here. Let me share the audio. So it's going to be 36. This is 2. Okay, this one, I think.
Trainees talking about
Presentations.
Unit 6, Part 1, Exercise 4, page 57. Listen to a group of management trainees talking about the preparation of presentations. Number the pictures in your book in the order in which they are mentioned in the recording.
Now let's think about the preparation for the presentation. What do you have to do to prepare it?
The most important thing is to know about the audience. Find out about...
Yes, but you need to make sure of your objectives first. So decide on the objectives, what you want the talk to achieve.
Yes, but to do that, you need to know about the audience. Their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, then the third thing is you have to go through the content, gather information, organize it, decide on a structure.
Yes, get a good structure, I agree. Then once the structure is okay, you need visuals, any graphs and that sort of thing.
Yes, the visual supports.
Then, well, you could write it all out, at least the introduction, just to practice it. Some people write out everything, some don't. It depends.
Yes, I think that's a good point. But practice is really very important. A key part of the preparation is to actually practice it, to give the presentation. And practice until you could do it just from notes. Then what else?
Check all the language, keep it simple, make sure there's no mistakes on the visuals, spelling and all that.
And I think you should check that the room is okay and the equipment.
Yeah, imagine no slide projector
Or the overhead has got no bulb in it.
Okay, so basically there are 8 things that you need to pay attention based on their discussions in the audio file, right, class? So what is the number 1 and number 2, the most 2 important things?
No, but the audience.
Know about the audience and also the objective, the objective for your presentation. What do you want to achieve? What do you want the audience to understand or to get from your presentation? So that's basically your objectives. Yes, okay, audience and objectives. These are the 2 interrelated things, because different audience might need some little adjustment and modifications, here and there as far as the targets are concerned. It's like 2 interrelated things you need to pay attention. What's next, according to their discussion? What's the next, class? Number 3?
Good drawing contains. It must be had good structures and need visual support.
Oh, okay, that's visual support is another point. Okay, so you need to focus on your content, make it simple, clear, and easy to understand. And also to make it more interesting, you might want to use the visual aids or visual supports, like PowerPoints and audio files and videos, the graphics and all that. Okay. What else after that?
Practice.
Okay. All right. Before the practice, let's try to play for the second time.
Module 3.
About the preparation of presentations.
Okay.
Number the pictures in your book in the order in which they are mentioned in the recording.
Now let's think about the preparation for the presentation. What do you have to do to prepare it?
The most important thing is to know about the audience. Find out about...
Yes, but you need to make sure of your objectives first. So decide on the objectives, what you want the talk to achieve.
Yes, but to do that, you need to know about the audience. Their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, then the third
So,
thing is
so audience and objective of your presentations. And next after that?
you have to go through
Okay,
the content,
so-
gather
Module 3, Presentations.
So decide on the objectives, what you want the talk to achieve.
Yes, but to do that, you need to know about the audience. Their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, then the third thing is you have to go through the
Okay,
content.
the next thing
gather
is the content.
information, organize it, decide on a structure.
Yes, get a good structure. I agree.
Get a good structures, okay? Get a good structures, the content of your presentation.
Then once the structure is okay, you need visuals, any graphs and that sort of thing.
Okay, after the visuals, the visual aids, you know, like the graphics, yeah, basically, I think now it's getting more advanced by using the PowerPoint slides, so everything's can be put into the PowerPoint slides. So all these visual aids. Okay, the next after the content, what is the next class after the content?
Get a good structure.
Yeah, that's what for the content. You get the good structures, clear, and visual aids. Usually, people. I mean, commonly we know that as visual aids. Visual aids is basically visual helps. You know, something visual. You know, like the graphics. You know, the graphs or the basically the PowerPoint slides are our visual the best visual aids that we can use because everything can be put into our PowerPoint slides, the audio, the video, everything. Okay? Good. So what's next after that?
Supports.
Then, well, you could write it all out, at least the introduction, just to practice it.
What's the next maybe? At least for the introduction, what you can do?
Write it.
Yeah, you make notes, okay? You might want to write every single words, but I think it's not really advisable because if you write everything there, you're gonna well, it's all depend. It's all depends. So some of the presenters might prefer the main points, okay, like the headings, the main points of the introduction, the thing that they're going to say during the introduction, okay, right? So making notes.
Some people write out everything, some don't. It depends.
Yes, I think that's a good point. But practice is really very important. A key part of the preparation is to actually practice it.
So the next is the most important thing before doing the presentations is, what is that class?
Practice.
Practice. And practice is not only for the doing presentations, it's almost every things that need it is based on the skills you need. Practice is of course no compromise on that. Okay.
Give the presentation and practice until you could do it just from notes. Then what else?
Check all the language, keep it simple, make sure there's no mistakes on the visuals, spelling and all that.
Okay, so the next part, after practicing, well, actually it should be at the same time. While you are practicing, you need to pay attention to what's next. Class, are you there? Let me repeat then, okay?
Key part of the preparation is to actually practice it, to give the presentation. And practice until you could do it just from notes. Then what?
Okay, next after this, okay?
Check all the language, keep it simple, make sure there's no mistakes on the visuals, spelling and all that.
Okay, checking what?
All the languages.
All the languages.
The
Okay,
languages, the
language.
typos.
Okay, the mistakes in typing perhaps, okay, and the grammars and everything. Well, actually, this should be done also at the same time from the beginning. So it's not a matter of in order. So basically, everything you need to do it at the same time, because I think checking your grammars, checking your typings and everything, it should be done from the beginning, right? So it's not to wait until you are practicing. I mean, during the practice of the presentation, you need to make sure that everything's already been checked. Okay, so checking the language, all right. So what else? Maybe do we have anything else?
And I think you should check that the room is okay and the equipment.
Okay, what's the next?
Yeah.
Check the room and equipment.
Check the room and the equipment. This is very important, class, when it comes to the real presentation. Okay, you need to actually be familiar with the place. Making yourself comfortable with the place if it is possible. But at least you need to realize, you need to make sure that everything is available there. The power plug, everything, and whether they have the laptop. If they don't have the laptop available, you need to make sure that you bring your own laptop, and also everything to make sure that everything will run smoothly, right, class? Okay, right. Class, I'm back here. So those are some important notes or points that all of us need to be aware of while preparing for the presentations. Okay, now we go to the first part of the presentations, because as I have told you before, basically there are main parts of your presentations. Basically it's going to be introduction of your presentations, and then you got like the content or the main board, the body, the main points that you're going to share during the presentations, and at the end, of course, the closing. Okay, so today's we're going to focus on the introduction. Okay, what are the things do you think you need to include in your introduction? Oh, I mean, what do you usually do while introducing your presentation? Class, can you share your points there?
Greeting.
Greetings, yes, sure. What else?
Introducing ourselves.
Introducing yourself, okay. I think it's quite common. So you do greeting and introduce yourself, and of course you need to somehow rather you introduce the topic, right? I mean the general, like if you are writing an essay, at the first paragraph, which is the introduction of your essay. Are you familiar with like a thesis statement, class? Are you done with your writing courses? You have to put your thesis statement, right, in your introduction of your essay. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
What is it all about?
It's about the main topic.
The main topics and the summary. Okay, the summary, what you're gonna talk or explain in your writing. And similar to that, in presentations, during your introduction, it's not going to be long, maybe just a couple of minutes. You need to explain how you're gonna run your presentations. You have to tell them that you're gonna start with some topics, and after that you're gonna maybe if you have some question and answer, okay, you may want to tell them either to wait you until you are done with your presentation and then they can ask, or maybe you can ask them, you can always tell them that they can ask anytime they want. Okay, you need to tell them these choices, and that's it. And after that, you tell them that that's going to be end of our of your presentation. So basically, in your introduction itself, there are some structures. Okay, maybe let's say what is the first one again? Just I think Lintang would say something on that. What is your first thing to do? Again,
Greeting, sir.
Yeah, greeting and introducing yourself. That might be
Introduction.
yeah, that might be the first part of your introduction. Let's say this is the first part of introductions. Okay, you greet, and then you introduce yourself, and then you tell them the title or what is the topic that you're gonna discuss, and then what's next after that? Into the body of your introduction, the content of introductions. What's you gonna say?
Structures.
Yes, structures. I mean the main points. Okay, basically what you're gonna tell them during your presentation, the main points, and that's maybe the second part, and the last part maybe you wanna explain a little on how you're gonna run your presentation. Do you have question and answers? Okay, or do you have something else? That would be the third part of the end of your introduction. Right, class. So I'm gonna play two audio files, which are the examples of the people doing the introduction of their presentations, and I'm gonna I want you to compare between the two, which one is better and which one is not really good for you to do, right? So let me share the files over here. Okay, let me start with where is it? So all the windows. I think I'm gonna start with this.
E. Exercise 2, page 59. Listen to the beginning of a presentation. Is it a good introduction?
So this is one of the two samples or examples of doing introduction to your presentation. Okay, this is the first one. You need to keep in your mind. After this, I'm gonna play another example. I want you to compare between the two. Okay, are you ready, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Thank you for coming today. As you know, I want to talk about the marketing plans. Brand identity is a key issue, and what it means is how we are seen by our customers and how our products are recognized, and what our consumers think of us as a company. And I should also say what they think of our products and the name, what telco means for them. And advertising is part of it, of course, though not something I'm going to talk about now, except to say that as for brand image, it's important in that area too. Advertising, that is.
Okay, so that's the first example. Hold on for a while. Just well, try to think of what's the what she's presenting. Okay, and let me share you another audio file for you to listen to compare. This one is here.
I'm here to talk about the
Page 60. Listen to another introduction to a presentation.
Listen to another example of the introduction to the presentation.
Is it a good introduction? And can you label its structure?
Okay, thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production plant at Taipei. Now, my talk will be in 3 parts, followed by a 30-minute discussion. I'm going to start with the background to each proposal, something about our negotiations with the Taiwanese government, and then in the second part, I'll go over the main characteristics of each proposal, Proposal 1 and Proposal 2. Then in the third part, I'll highlight some key considerations we have to bear in mind. Finally, I'll end with an invitation to ask questions or make any comments that you'd like. We'll discuss anything that was in the talk. Okay? So, to begin with, a few words on the history of our interest in locating...
Right, class. So do you have something to compare between the two? So let me stop sharing screen over here. Right? Is it clear enough, the difference between the two? So which one you think is easier to understand, the first or the second?
Second.
Second, Nuri, yes?
Second, I think so.
Second, all right. Anyone else want to say the first or the second?
Second, sir.
The second, all right, okay. Why do you think the second is easier to understand?
The speaker
Explain the
Oh,
structure
clearly.
Clearly, okay. How about Felix?
the speaker explain each point.
Exactly. There are some. I mean, he told us the main points and how he's going to run the presentation, and also it's focused, right? I mean, if you listen, if you listen again to the first speaker or the first presenter, she kind of like confused, and also the what she's gonna
Explain.
talk. Yeah, I mean the topic is not like it's not consistent, you know. On the first part, he's going to talk on the marketing, and then he's going to brand image. It's not really closely tied or related. I mean, it's like she's going to talk on something, and then he tells us something else. You know what I mean? It's like it's not really focused, and I think yes, I agree with that. That the second one I think is quite clear, and if you are asked to give the structures, let's say from the second presenter or the second speaker, what are the general structures of his introduction? Okay, I think the first is of course greeting, maybe, but we don't really listen to the greeting. Okay, greeting and the self introduction, maybe. Okay, and then after that, the structures of his introduction to the presentation. Class, after that, what he's telling us. So let me play it for the second time again. Okay, so I have this one.
Is it a good introduction? And can you label its structure?
Can you listen to the audio now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so try to focus on to find out the structures of his introduction to his presentation.
Okay, thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production
Okay, so
plan.
what is he doing here? Class?
Introducing the topic.
The topic, okay. After introducing your greeting and introducing yourself, then directly you may want to mention your topic, okay.
Now, my talk will be in 3 parts, followed by a 30-minute discussion.
So what is it? My talk will be in 3 parts. So what is he doing? He's telling us
Explanation to each topic you want to present.
All right. So basically, he tells us the general, the general structures of the whole presentation, right? In the introduction, this is like a thesis statement in your essay writing. Okay.
I'm going to start with the background to each proposal, something about our negotiations with the Taiwanese government, and then in the second part, I'll go over the main characteristics of each proposal.
So this is like the body, like the body of your introduction. I mean, the content of your introduction. Basically, it's like the details, not the details, but the main points that you're gonna cover in your presentation. Okay, you need to tell this in your introduction.
Proposal 1 and Proposal 2. Then in the third part, I'll highlight some key considerations we have to bear in mind.
Okay, so he mentioned 3 parts of, three main ideas or 3 main parts of his presentation. Okay.
Finally, I'll end with an invitation to ask questions or make any comments that you'd like.
Also, he explained about how he's going to end the presentation with question and answer session.
Discuss anything that was in the talk. Okay? So, to begin with, a few words on the history of our interest in locating in Taipei.
Right, so those are basically the things that you need to really pay attention when it comes to introducing your presentation. So basically, as far as the introduction of your presentation is concerned, there are some general structures that you may want to follow. Okay. So again, what's the first part of your introduction class again?
Greetings, sir.
Come again? Greetings, and also what else? The first part?
Introducing.
Okay. Introducing yourself and also your topic, okay? Good. That would be considered as the first part. And then the second part, what are the second part again?
Stating the outline of the presentation.
Exactly, outlines. Okay, the main idea, the outlines of your presentation. How many sections, how many parts you're going to cover? Part 1, part 2, part 3, something like that. Okay, and that's it. You are done with your introduction. Then you go to your body of the main points of, or the main part of your presentation class, right? So as simple as that. So well, next week, next session, we are still discussing on doing a presentation, and I think another session left also after the mid-semester test. Maybe we are still on the doing good presentations, right? So well, is Taka here right now? Is not? Do you see him around?
No, sir.
No, okay, right. Well, for next week, we might not be in Zoom, you know, because it's like almost to the end of our fasting month, and you're gonna learn on your own. As for your mid-semester test, this time I'm gonna make it a little bit simple. Okay, you need to have your partners. You might want to use the same pairs or the same partners, the one that you did in the previous classes. Do you still remember that, Silas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I leave it up to you to make your own pair. So for your mid-semester test, basically you're gonna pick up one of the conversation samples, the one that we have done so far in the previous lessons, in the previous sessions. I'll be telling you next time, you know, what's the topic and what's the conversation sample that you're going to do. That will be your mid-semester test. And as for the remaining sessions after the mid-semester test, you're gonna focus more on doing a presentation, and the presentation will be carried out by the same pair. So each group consists of 2, so that you're gonna have like more pairs to present while doing the presentations, right? So basically, the remaining sessions, you're gonna do. You're gonna take turns to do your presentations. We're gonna talk on this later on. You know, we're gonna discuss on this later on after we are done with your mid-semester test class. Right. So far, I think we are almost done with our session for today. So, do you have any questions to raise, class?
Sorry, sir. Do we allow to change our partner?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I leave it up for you to do that. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Make yourself more comfortable with choosing your partner. Okay. Don't worry on that, class. I really want you to be happy and be comfortable while practicing your presentations. Right. Okay. Anything else?
I guess no, sir.
Okay, right. So I think that's all for today. We'll see whether we will be will be meeting in Zoom next week or not. So just I'll inform you later for the confirmation. Okay. Right. So I think that's all for today, class. Thank you very much for joining the class. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.